It's not started.
Yeah. Yeah. In the last class, we have seen, I was discussing about the active, shunt active filters, the advantages of the why we required to have this shunt active power filter uh, is basically to improve the current quality. The shunt active power filter is used basically to improve the, in general, this is a shunt active filter, some shunt active filter or shunt active power filter, active power filter, or even they say about a distribution static compensator, DStatCom. The short form is a DStatCom. Okay. The purpose of these, in general, they have been used for a current quality improvement. What kind of the current quality improvement is? Current quality improvement. And this shunt active filter or shunt active power filter is to improve the current quality. One thing, this is one of the objective of the active filter, to make the source current in phase with the source voltage, and then the source currents are balanced. They call, in this aspect of the source current or balance, they will be calling as even the load unbalance also, a load balancing. This is about a load balancing also, load balancing. And then the source current or the distortion free, that is the DHT of the source current, should be 5%. Apart from this, these three points, there are other points are there. They call it as a regulation of a voltage. They can be used, the distribution static compensator can be used to regulate the PCC voltage. Even they can use for to reduce the flicker, and also the voltage balancing also, voltage balancing. But the main purpose of this particular shunt active power filter, the DStatCom, is used to improve the current quality, to alter the algorithm in a sense, like we didn't come across what exactly the DStatCom is. Okay, to for a time being, like the DStatCom is to control uh, a controlling device which used to regulate the PCC voltage, and then the flicker, and then the voltage balancing. This can also be done, but we need to change the control of the DStatCom in order to the, in order to either it can operate in the voltage control mode or in the current control mode. Okay. Yeah, we will try to see that uh, what kind of the components will be there in the shunt active power filter, and then we look into the different topologies or different kinds of the system, with system in the sense like uh, yeah, a single phase system, or a three wire system, or a three phase four wire system. Okay, depending on this particular system, the topologies also will differ. Okay. uh, uh, in this class, we'll try to see what kind of the topologies are available in the literature. Okay. Yeah. uh, they call it as active shunt DStatCom, or DStatCom also active shunt filter, active shunt pass filter. Yeah. Here is in general, the DStatCom will be is having an inverter, or a converter. okay, which is connected in a shunt, which is connected in a shunt also. Okay. This is connected to a shunt. This particular point is a point of common coupling. Okay, and this is about the load, and this is about the source here. Okay, and this particular can be a current source converter or can be a current source, I mean the voltage source inverter also, current source converter or a voltage source converter also. Okay, but when you are going for a current source converter, we should require a series diode which is to block uh, the reverse voltage also. Okay, reverse voltage. And this particular current source converter is excited with the inductor, which is having the stored the magnetic field which is used. Okay, and it have a capacitor over here, a shunt capacitor. Okay, generally like we can have an IGBT over here, which we can have a series diode over here also. But apart from this, if you want to remove this particular diode, if you can use for the GTO also. Okay, you can use for the GTO also. Yeah, the disadvantage is when you are going for a current source converter, we cannot go for a multi-level kind of a multi-levels also. Whereas the voltage source converter, we can go for a multi-level uh, configuration. Okay, and then the switching frequency is also, when you're going for a GTO, it can operate at a very low switching frequency also. But the disadvantage of going for a low switching frequency in this particular current source converter, in some cases where we require to track the current at a high switching frequency levels also. Okay, so the current source converter may not be an appropriate solution for to use as a discharge. And then the capacitor which is connected over here, the shunt capacitor, the voltage rating will be very high. Okay, the rating of this particular capacitor is very high. Yeah. And then the difficulty is also there when you're going for to control the current source converter, as it's not very simple also to operate for a discharge applications. Okay, in keeping these minds, people have been used the voltage source converter based discharge only. Most of, yeah, I mean most of the DStatCom application, they go for a voltage source converter. Okay, this the DStatCom is having about a voltage source converter which is excited with the capacitor over here, and this it is used to have an inductor in series with uh, the voltage source converter, which is connected over a shunt to this particular source as well as consumer. Okay, this about a typical DStatCom. What kind of the components will be there? We have an interfacing inductor in order to uh, s- reduce the ripples in the inductor current also. Okay, reduce the ripples in the inductor current. And then this voltage source converter is generally is excited with your the capacitor. It's about the voltage source based DStatCom. Coming back to this voltage source converter, we can have the multiple level of level configuration also, because now we have a capacitor over here. You can go for a multi-level inverter kind of a thing. Whereas in the current source converter, that is not possible over the current source converter, and this voltage source converter is possible. But going for a multi-level, it all depends upon the power level also. What kind of the power level uh, we are going to use this particular discharge. Okay, yeah. And here the important thing is we are going to improve this particular is source current. Okay, in this particular case of D-STATCOM, we need to regulate this particular current of IC, compensated current, by using this particular an inverter, the voltage source converter. Maybe it can be, if you are going for a current source converter, we need to regulate this particular current of IC by controlling this particular switches of your current source converter. Okay, in order to improvise this particular improvise the source current quality, in order to improvise the source current quality, in to regulate this particular current source converter or even the voltage source converter. For that, what is required is how much is the IC to be injected. How much is the IC to be injected? We need to know. It's not like of just of switching this particular the switches. You cannot make ensure that of IC to be the required amount of IC to be flow. Okay. The thing is, what I mean to say that we need to estimate the compensator current or the filter current or the D-STATCOM current, how much it should be, in order to improve this particular source current quality. Okay, keeping those minds, those points, which are very important in in controlling the D-STATCOM or in controlling the disk outcome in order to improve the current quality. Okay, and then the topology wise, there are the different types of the topologies which are available with respect to the a single phase system or a three phase three wire system or a three phase a four wire system, and also particular to the load, what kind of the load it has been used, and what kind of the uh, power quality improvement you are attempting it by the voltage source converter. With respect to that also, what kind of the power quality improvement we are improving by the shunt active power filter. With respect to this also, uh, the topologies of the voltage source converter will differ. Especially what I mean to say that depending on the load also, what kind of the power quality issues we are addressing with the shunt active D-STATCOM. Depending on that also, the topology is going to change. Okay, yeah. This about a single phase system. We have a single phase source, and then you have a consumer, and then this is the current two-wire D-STATCOM, which is of how does what way the typically looks like. Okay. Okay, this ICC, we mean in earlier we have connected a shunt capacitor, what I mean to say that, and this way it has been connected. This is a typical diagram or schematic diagram or a circuit diagram. How does the two wire D-STATCOM with a current source converter looks like? Okay, I mean this case, like we were trying to, once after finding out IC whether to turn on this, see the current flow should be of this kind of the nature, the positive current. Maybe depends on your uh, the switching of the current also. Okay, the current source converter, maybe in some ways where uh, I just give about the diagram, the control, how does it looks like. Yeah, maybe like if there is a sinusoidal current. Okay, the sinusoidal current, I just want to explain that the tracking. Maybe if you are going to apply for this rise of the current, is a rise of the current, we can apply the ID increasing, and then the ID is decreasing to be of this kind of the nature. This way. This is a kind of a current tracking, which is of a hysteresis current control, where we are going to track of this kind. We will increase the applied voltage, and then we increase the applied voltage and decrease the reduce the applied DC voltage. Maybe sometimes what we apply was we apply a plus or minus VDC. The other way, this is the rise in the slope will have the plus or plus VDC, and the decrease in the current will of a minus VDC. I just explaining one of the case like how do you track the current. Okay. Typically over here also it all depends. When you have a positive current, maybe it tends to flow this way, and if at all if you want to decrease the current, maybe the flow of the current will be yeah, this way. Okay, the other way is this way. Maybe the current is going to flow. What is happening? Yeah, this way. Not even touching that one, but still it is changing it. There is a problem. Okay, this way it is going to go the reverse current of IC, negative current. If you take the convention of this, it is going to flow this way, and the other way is, yeah, this way. Okay, this is about a two-wire DC STATCOM. I just highlighted over here how does the current flow is. Okay, and this is a single phase system which I just given over a two-wire DC STATCOM with a voltage source converter. We have the inductor here to smooth the current, and then this is the capacitor which is there to filter out the switching frequency I mean components. Okay, maybe the in voltage, if there are switching frequencies, it can filter out also in order to improve the quality of the voltage at a PCC. Okay, in this case, suppose here it is of plus and this is of minus. If you want to apply the plus VDC voltage, then we are going to turn on this way. Okay, this way the current which is going to flow with the linear load, it is going to operate again back to this way. If you want to apply the, just a minute, yeah, correct. If you want to apply the minus VDC, then how does it goes? Okay, the plus VDC is this. Here we have a terminal, the upper plate will be plus, and this is of negative plate. We can turn on the T1 over here, and then the T4 again to have the closure path. If you want to apply the plus, if you want to apply the negative voltage at this particular pieces, at this particular point, or in the midpoint of T1 and T2, if you have to have the minus VDC, you need to go and turn on the T2, and then this way, again this way, again this, at T3 to be this way. I mean, one thing is, if you turn on this, we get a plus VDC. If you T1 and T4, if we turn on T2 and T3, we get a minus VDC. That's what I was mentioning. While tracking the current, we use a kind of a hysteresis current control. There are the different controls out there. Don't worry about this particular very much. In general, when if you are trying to use the improvised the current quality, you can go for a current control, which is a very simple control and very easy control also. Yeah, we have to fix about a band, hysteresis band. We have to fix about the band either of a plus H or the minus H over here, and then we need, this is about a reference signal. This is about a reference current also. I just mean to say that reference. What we are, this is the current which is of a kind of this particular current is a the actual current is an actual current. Okay, when there is a rise in the current, it is of when you have any of the rise in the current, when you apply a plus VDC voltage. Okay, when you have a current of this in a decreasing slope, then we need to apply a minus VDC. How you can get this particular logic, or in order to regulate in order to control this particular T1 and T4 switches? I'm just giving about it. This is a very important, and in all the power quality improvement devices, the custom power devices, uh, I am going to use the hysteresis control only. Even with respect to the voltage, when you say about a current control, the only thing is we have the hysteresis current control. All the other techniques which are available are all the PWM schemes, the voltage control mode only. Okay, this is a control in the existed with respect to the current is the hysteresis control technique. We can be used of the voltage control also. It's not like only can be used for the current control. Okay, I try to explain the very important concept of the hysteresis current control technique. You might be knowing it also. Okay, how you can control by using the hysteresis current control is they try to compare the star is nothing but the reference compensator current with the actual compensator current. This is about a reference, and this is about the actual current. Okay, we have to measure it, and they trying to find out the error. They try to find out the error this way. They fix about the error is something like a h value, that is of this particular h value, but is this particular a positive h, maybe you can consider of an h over here, and this way in the bottom is also the h. Okay, if error is the greater than your h, what exactly the meaning is, the actual reference current is much lesser. This compensator current, or the actual current, is very lesser than the compensator current. That means that where the position is, the position is of this nature. It is going to tend to this way. It is going to tend to this way. Once if it is touching to this particular band of this, the lower band and lower level, or a lower level, we need to increase that. How do we increase that? We have to turn on in this particular, with respect to the figure 4, I'm explaining the hysteresis current control technique. We need to trigger this T1, or turn on this T1 and T2 to be on, and okay, and T3 and T4 to be in off state, to be in off state. Else, or else we can go for other loop also. If the error is less than the h, less than the h is nothing but, when you see this particular, this is the way of calculating the error. This is the way of calculating the error. If the error is less than the value of the h, means that the actual value is very higher, then only it becomes a negative kind of a thing. Otherwise, it will have a positive only. Error is the actual compensator current is high. In that case, the error should be is less than the h. Then what we need to do is we need to turn on this T3 and T4 to be on state, and T1 and T2 are in half state. Exactly what we are going to do is we are going to apply in this case we are going to apply a plus VDC, and then this case we are going to apply a minus VDC. Okay, that's what I was just mentioning over here. There's a plus VDC which can turn on the T1 and then the T4. Okay, this is about how do we control it. Yeah, when you look into this particular voltage source converter, how do you select the value of the inductance LR, and how do you select the CR value, and how do you select the CD? Okay, these are the very important. And I mean the switches of T1 and T3, T2, and how do you select a T4? It all depends upon the blocking voltage. The switch, when how do you select the switch means a switch is selected based on the switching frequency which you want to operate it, and what will be the blocking voltage, and what is the maximum current will be flown by the switch, and then the switching frequency also. Switching frequency is the rate at which we turn on and turn off. From that we can calculate the switching frequency also. Okay. See, when you're looking over the design of these STATCOM, one the point is important point is we need to design the DC link capacitance, the DC link voltage, or the DC link means completely about the DC side also. DC link side we need to design it. The capacitor design should be there, and then we need to design the inductor, and then the CF also, the shunt capacitor over here. And then the switch depends on the switching frequency, blocking voltage, and what is the maximum current is will load. And then the mm, yeah, especially three parameters. What I said was switching frequency, which reverse blocking voltage, and then the current. Is there any other point which I missed when you're designing the when you're select the switching rating? So these are the three, I think so. Current, and then the reverse blocking voltage, and then the frequency with which we are going to operate it. Yeah. How do you fix the rating of the DStatCom? We'll look into the design of the DStatCom parameters maybe in the next coming classes. Uh, I mean, I just highlighting what are the design considerations to be considered in designing this DStatCom. So how do you fix the rating of the a DStatCom with a rating of the shunt active power filter also? How do you fix about the voltage source convert? Hmm. See, when you're designing a passive filter, in earlier class what we discussed it, the passive filter is designed with respect to the power factor improvement. We consider one of the power factor, the load power factor. Okay, from the load power factor, we derived how much is the reactive power to be compensated. That is about we design the capacitor power rating also. That way, how much is the power factor to be improved, and the left whatever the power which is there, the subtracted of the load power minus the desired power factor from the source. From that we need to evaluate. We have evaluated the capacitor power level rating. In the similar way, depending on the load power factor and how much is the power factor, the source current power factor is improved. Based on that, we need to design particularly the dotted box of the power rating, the DStatCom power rating also. That way we need to design. Even like in normal UPS also nowadays, like you have been used the UPS in powering or in backing up your desktop computer or in the household application also. How do you design it? It all depends upon how much the load is connected to your UPS and how much duration you require to have a backup or to power up. you are a sensitive load. Maybe you use some kind in a household applications. The UPS is used to lighten, and then one fan to be worked for a shorter duration. Maybe hardly they look for the backup to be half an hour or 1 hour also. In the similar way, the D statcom, the inverter is all depends upon the load power factor. What is the rate of the load power factor? How much is the desired power factor to be improved? Okay. From that, we can evaluate the current, and once you current evaluated, you can fix about the switching frequency also. Okay, we'll see it later the design aspect, but the power level, it all depends upon what is the load power factor, how much is the power factor to be improved at the source side, are the parameters in designing the power rating of your the voltage source converter. Okay, that is about the precisely how the DSTATCOM is, the power level rating is to be designed. Okay, yeah, this is about a typical a single phase DSTATCOM which is having a with a voltage source converter. Yeah. We can have in this case, instead of using for this a switch over here, there can be a topology. I just give out, there can be a topology which is of uh, this way. Capacitor, sorry, it should be of you have a switch over here, and you have a VDC1 and VDC2, and this is to be a clamp. This is also one of the topology. It can be used in a single phase. Is about a load, a sensitive load or a linear load. A sensitive load, it must be having a, okay. This way also you can have the topology. Okay, especially this won't be there. The T3 and T4 won't be there. We have a capacitor over here, a neutral clamped capacitor. But the advantage of this topology is we can decrease the number of the switches, but the entire the voltage level of this particular DC link will be very high than this particular topology. Okay, in this case, maybe in this particular topology, the VDC, the VDC may be 1200, or in this particular case of this topology, we have a VDC1 plus the VDC2. Maybe it doubles 2400 total capacitor voltage. It tries to increase up to 2400. Okay. Yeah. Coming back to this three phase and three wire DC come, we have a non-isolated VSC, and then we have a isolated VSC topology, the voltage source converter. We are going to discuss about the voltage source converter only, not the current source topologies. In general, in most of the literature, the DSTATCOM, in DSTATCOM application, they use a voltage source converter only. Okay, so that's why we are going to discuss the topologies with respect to the system and with respect to the load application also. There are the different topologies out there. Okay, we have just now seen that a single phase DSTATCOM. Now we are going to see that a three phase three wire DSTATCOM. We have a non-isolated VSC and isolated VSC. In non-isolated VSC also, we have a three-leg VSC and a two-leg VSC with split capacitors. Okay, in a two-leg having a split capacitor. We look into the three-phase three-wire system. In the case of isolated VSC, we have a three single-phase VSC, and then the star delta crossover with the three-leg VSC, and we have a star delta transformer with the two-leg VSC also. Yeah. This is a non-isolated VSC. There won't be any transformer. This is a typical three-phase, three-wire source, and it is going to produce supply the three-phase, single-phase, four-wire balanced and unbalanced load. Here, this is a ripple filter. RFCF is used to filter out the switching frequency components and voltages in PCC voltage. I mean, once you operate this converter, the voltage source converter, we will be getting about the switching frequency components which is going to enter. Now, obviously, if there is switching frequency going to flow, the VSA will be having the switching frequency component current is going to flow this way. Okay. Here we are going to use the ripple filter to eliminate the switching frequency voltages. Okay. This topology also can be used. I mean, the only thing is like in a case of unbalanced loads, in case of unbalanced load, we will be having the circulating currents between the phase of leg of phase A, between the leg of phase B, and even there will be circulating currents between the what do you say, in a C leg, C phase leg also. The difficulty will be there. Not a difficulty. It may not be having a satisfactory performance when you have an unbalanced load in a three-phase, three-wire system of D STATCOM. Okay. But if you are allowing, if in the case of unbalanced load, there will be unbalanced currents is going to flow from phase A to phase B or phase A to phase C also. That way it is going to. During the case of the balanced load, the topology, the performance wise, it doesn't have any problem. But only thing is when there is an unbalanced loads, we have studied about the system with a three-phase system of three-phase three-wire load. For a system of three-phase three-wire load, we studied that by considering the unbalanced load. Okay, a three-phase three-wire system, while evaluating the PCC voltage unbalance factor and then the current unbalance factor, in that case also we have studied. The point is the kind of the topology is there for a three-phase three-wire system. It may not be satisfactory performance for a case of a load of an unbalanced load. Okay, why? Because we'll be having the circulating currents from the phases. What is the problem is we estimate the compensator current. See, I just mentioned that the compensator current we need to estimate also. We need to see it's not about we cannot make out a kind of a how if there are switches we need to develop some kind of a logic. For that we need to estimate the compensator current in order to have develop a logic between the switches, and also our motto is to inject a current or to accept a current or such a way that to improve the source current quality. Okay, that way we are going to use it. What the important point is, what I want to highlight is, in this particular case, when there is a circulating currents between the phases, it may dilute the source current quality also. Even though we are made an attempt to improve the power quality by using the distatcom of the three-phase three-wire system also. Why? Because there is a circulating currents in the case of unbalanced load. Okay, in the case of unbalanced load, for this topology there is a problem in improving the source current quality. Why? Because when there is an unbalanced load, there is a circulating current between the phase of A to phase of B and phase of B to phase of C also. While having the circulating currents between the phases, the current of phase A, it may flow to the B phase or it may flow to the C phase. After coming to the C phase of the loop, it has to go somewhere of the source voltage or somewhere in the B phase of the leg also. Okay, we see it's not about, we need to provide a path. Okay, we need to provide a path. Generally the current of uh, the circulating currents of phase A, it is going to flow with the phase B or phase C. It all depends on the impedance offered. Okay, if the impedance offered with respect to that frequency component of the current is very high in the C phase, it should flow with the B phase. Once after entering to the B phase, it may flow to the source or it may flow to the B leg. It all depends upon the how do you operate the inverter. It is, if it is not there in the control logic of the B phase of the leg, then that will be a serious issue also. Serious issue in the sense like the performance of your D-Statcom, it may not be satisfactory. What I mean to say that the B phase of the current, it has to flow the A phase. I mean, there will be a circulating currents when you have an unbalance. When you have an unbalance, that's what I was mentioning. Once if there is a circulating current is flowing to this, it should flow through the B phase of this. You have an inverter over here. You have an inverter which is of this way. Maybe here it has to flow either this way of your leg, okay, or either it has to flow this way. It all depends on the offered impedance for this particular current. Okay, and in the inverter side, we are not telling that to the inverter to flow this particular current also. We are not telling to that current. For the inverter, what exactly we are going to give an inputs is, we are going to give an input of the reference filter current. And this reference filter current, what kind of uh, how do you generate this reference filter current is by considering the aspects of the source current quality improvement. How do you generate this IF star is, we need to consider the 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 source current quality improvement aspects also. Okay, in that we are not defining how should we flow this. While estimating this IF current, we are going to estimate by this the current quality improvement of the source, but not about the circulating currents to be flowed also. So in that case, what I mean to say that the topology wise, the working kind of an operation of a three-leg VSC based three-wire D-Statcom, it may not be satisfactory for the case of an unbalanced load. For an unbalanced load, okay, yeah. This about a hedge bridge VSC. Only thing is here, the other leg won't be there. It is going to have a clamped over here. It's a This is about H bridge VSC and midpoint capacitor based. H bridge is sense that this is considering the phase A and phase B, and the VSC it is clamped. Midpoint capacitor three phase. It's not necessary to be clamped to the C phase. It can be clamped to the A phase, or it may be clamped to the B phase. The other phases, one of the phase is, if it is clamped, the other phase is connected to a leg, midpoint of the leg. Okay, the H bridge It's not compulsion to be used in a phase and B phase. That's what my point is. We can use the either B and C. The H bridge inverter can be used in B and C, or C and A also. Okay, and the same only. Here the thing is the capacity, the VDC link voltage. Once you go for this, it is 2 times of VDC. Okay, 2 times of VDC. Again, especially for the unbalanced case, this is a very difficult problem when you go for this particular topology. They call it as an HPH VSC base. In some of the literature, they call it as a two-leg inverter also. Okay, a two-leg. It's what two-leg VSC with split capacitors. That way also can be called two-leg VSC with split capacitors. The disadvantage by going for this is when there is a DC current is in one of the phase of this current. In that case, you will be having the one is once you have a DC current to be flowed, one it looks like a charging kind of a thing. The other, maybe if you go for this current of a DC current, it is having a unidirectional current, right? DC current used to flow this way only. Once if it is go to this way, the VDC2 will be of looks like it is a discharging or a charging also. But when you measure with reference to this, it is going to it is going to looks like a discharging only when you are measuring it. What I mean to say that with respect to how do you measure the VDC1 voltage and the VDC2 voltage is by taking about the reference of this is might be with respect to this, the measuring will be there. We connect a positive terminal of the scope and the negative terminal of this particular way the scope is connected. It's about a negative. Okay, now the measurement of VDC1, what I mean to say that, see, in this case the current is flowing, the DC current is going to flow this way and the current is going to dissipate this way. That means that it is very well, it is a dissipating current over here. It is a dissipating current. Suppose if the capacitor current, if it is going to flow this way, it is a charging current also. We can say that it is a capacitor is charged also. The DC current, if it is flowing to this way, once you measure with respect to this, how does it looks like is, this is about, I say about a 1200 volts. With respect to 200 volts, if you take about this is about 1200 volts, then one of the capacitor, if you allow the DC current at this particular time, maybe if you are allowing the DC current, maybe have this one, it is charging over here, the other is also discharging is also the same. Maybe when you are measuring with respect to this particular point, to this, okay, it is of a charging voltage. When you consider this way, it is of a discharging. Maybe it is of VDC1 and this is of VDC2 also. It is of VDC2. Okay, the point is the topology of this kind of the topology is having a drawback. When there is a DC component of the current, the capacitor voltage unbalance issue is going to come. The capacitor voltage unbalance is going to come. See, the measurement also they have given here. One, it is from here to here. The other one is here to here. The VDC2 is a charging, and then the VDC1 is a discharging over here. Okay. See, the problem is when there is a DC component current is to flow, there is a capacitor voltage balancing issue is going to come. If there is a voltage balancing issue is going to arise or will exist, if there is existence of this, then what happened was the compensator will not be having the satisfactory performance. Why? Because if you have a applied voltage to be the same, if this VDC1 is equal to VDC is equal to 200 volts, then we are going to operate it a smoother way in order to regulate this compensatory current of phase A. If there is any unbalance, maybe what I exactly mean to say that, see, I mean, the rise in the current and the fall in the current, the slope may be different. How the slope is different? Di by Di compensator by Dit is depends upon your VDC by the DC link voltage by L. Right? The compensator current, if the VDC is high, then the slope is also very high. If the VDC is low, the slope fall is going to reduce also. See, one thing is if VDC1 value is very low, then what happened was the rise of this current, in general it has to be though flow go this way. Now the VDC link has fall, then you have a slope is going to decrease this way. It has to flow this, I mean the current is which is to flow this way, but because of decrease in the VDC link, it is going to flow this way. Then it may not be satisfactory because of this. Not satisfactory, we are not exactly tracking this particular compensator current as required. So there is the source current quality may not be improved also. These are the disadvantages of going for this topology. But this topology of this is will give a satisfactory performance in the case of a, a balanced load and when there is no DC loads connected to a DSTATCOM or connected to a source also. Yeah. Next we have the isolated system. Sorry. Yeah, this is an isolated system, which is of a three-phase, is three single-phase VSC based, three single-phase VSC based. Each phase is having about H-bridge topology. You can say that is a VSC. A three-phase, three-wire DSTATCOM. For a three-phase, three-wire DSTATCOM, which is for isolated system. Three single-phase VSC. Okay. This is about a single-phase kind of a topology. Single-phase VSC. Phase A is connected to a single-phase VSC. We have an isolated transformer over here. Now to isolate the inverter side to the supply side also. But this kind of the topology, the number of switches are more, and we require to have a transformers also. Okay. Yeah. Next we have an isolated system which is of a three-phase VSC based three-wire system. We have here a three-leg topology here. Three-leg VSC based. Earlier it is a single-phase VSC based. Now it is a three-leg VSC based three-wire system. And this kind of the topologies is also gives a satisfactory performance. Here it has been given a three-phase four-wire, but there is no fourth wire over here. It is a three-phase three-wire only. It should be a three-phase three-wire only. Okay. But all the three-phase three-wire system, for a three-phase three-wire system, will give a satisfactory performance for a case of a balanced load. For unbalanced load, it may not also. The unbalanced factor is very less, then the three leg or the D STATCOM will be working is satisfactory. If the unbalanced factor is high in the load currents, then this may not be used satisfactory performance. The performance is measurement of this particular source current. Okay. Yeah. This is about a H bridge topology. Only the leg is connected to the C phase. The neutral clamp is connected to a C phase. The other of phase A and then the phase B of the current is connected to the one of the two legs. No, the other phases, the two phases are being connected to the phases of two phases of the legs. The other phase is connected to the neutral clamp of the capacitor. Okay. Yeah, for a three-phase four-wire system, the topology wise we have a non-isolated VSC and then the isolated VSCs. When you go for a non-isolated VSC, is four-leg VSC. Four-leg in the sense like in a three-phase four-wire system, we have a phase of A and phase of B and phase of C. So I will go to the system, maybe this system. Phase A, phase B, and phase C. This is a neutral clamp, neutral of the load and the neutral of the system is connected. We connect a phase A to one of the leg and phase B to the one of the leg, this leg, and phase C is connected to this particular leg. The neutral wire is connected to also one of the leg. This is about a four-leg VSC based. In a three-phase three-wire four-wire system, we have a four connections. One is the phase A and phase B and phase C. The other one is a neutral wire. Okay. We have, I mean, the topology wise is same only. The fourth wire is coming over there when you compare to the three-phase three-wire system. But in this case, the three-phase four-wire D-STATCOM is going to operate for even the DC load existence, even for the unbalanced also. When you have an unbalanced load, it tries to give a satisfactory because the unbalanced current it is going to the flow to the neutral wire. Whatever the unbalance is there present in the load of A and load B and load C, it is going to flow through this neutral wire. That ILN is there, right? The current of ILN. This ICN is going to flow this way, the neutral component of the current. Then your source current or a balance. If it is not this case, we will be having the circulating current between a phase. Maybe here it should be ILA, and it should be ILB, and it should be ILC. There is a small mistake over here. You will be having the circulating currents. What I point is, with respect to this kind of a system for unbalanced load, the unbalanced component of the current is going to flow from the phase A to phase B of the leg, or it may be flowing to the B phase, or it may be going to the leg of the inverter also. Provided there should be a control logic should be there for the flow that current also. In the next class, we'll try to see the other topologies also of the three-phase four-way system, and then we try to go for one of the DStatCom will take it, and then we'll try to generate the compensator currents. There are the different types of the algorithms are there in generating this compensator current, ICA and ICB and IC3. We need to generate it. It's not so simple to generate these particular currents while improving the source current quality. Okay, we'll try to see the control algorithm in developing the compensator currents in the next class. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. And